So hi YouTube, it's the end of the day again, of course, as always. Alright guys, here's the point of the video. Now I don't know how I look on these video guys. I really don't know how I really look. Do I look a truck driver downer? I don't know. I try to be as real as possible on these videos. I try to be as transparent as I could possibly be. I also gotta dance around certain things, some things you can't say because you know the people eye in the sky is watching. So some things I really can't say, but as close to it as I could get, I'm gonna try to get there. Well, I'm gonna say it clear. I'm as clear as possible on this video. And there's a reason I'm saying this. A lot of these videos that I make is really to help a lot of guys get up out of jams. I don't want to send you off. I don't want to send you on a blank mission. I want you guys to know that if you do decide to do trucking, or if you're in trucking, these are some of the things that I've learned over the years, and hopefully you guys could take it and use it or whatever. That's the purpose from me fixing stuff in the radio. If you do intermodal, then I try to show guys how to do the intermodal game. If you're owner operator, I try to tell you about the owner operator game as best as possible. I don't know everything, but what I do know, I try to share. As far as the business go, industry go, which is the point of this video, which I'm gonna get to in 1 second. I try to share as much information about the industry as I possibly could. Guys, I'm gonna say this. From another driver, from a trucker to a trucker, or a trucker to civilian, whoever you are watching this, the problems that everybody see in trucking right now, the challenges that trucking have, it's not going nowhere. Fuel always gonna be an issue. Fuel hikes, then the lowers give you a little break, then it goes back up, pinch it a little bit more, then it goes back down. That's always gonna be a problem for owner operator or small companies or big. It's gonna be a problem for anybody. Tolls, always gonna be a problem. You always gonna have people trying to short you on work and loads. You always gonna have people trying to short you on the pay for the work and loads. You always gonna have the favorite five, as I call it. If you go eat this right here goes across any position, whether you're owner operator or you're owner operator or you're a company driver. It don't even matter because you could face this either way it go. You can get faced if you got your own authority. You got the favorite, you have brokers and carriers that's really cool with each other. So of course, when it comes to feeding each other work, you know what I'm saying, who first will get the call. Sometimes it's on the good old boy system, but sometimes it's actually, some people look up, you know what I'm saying, actually have good merit, because they actually a good carrier, they're dependable, and they get stuff done. But sometimes you could be all that good. You can have all the equipment, you can have all the stuff ready, but I've seen where companies lost contracts because they're trying to feed their favorites, and their favorites could not hold up. That was with leased onto a company. And I've seen it with owner operators and carriers. The broker is cool with these people over here, and you more qualified, you got the work ready available, but they'll hold off and get to their boys versus, or they'll call them first. Hey, do you want this load? We got these loads going this way. Do you want it first? So it's like, there's a saying, around the way that it's not always what you know, but who you know. That's true to a certain degree. So anyway, you always gonna have stuff like that. This is always gonna be a challenge. And one thing too, I feel like truckers, I feel like we underpaid in a lot of ways. But one day recently I was thinking about this. I'm thinking well, do we deserve to get paid for our efforts more than what we out here doing and deal with? Absolutely, we do. Will it happen? In a driver's market, it will, but the market's always changed, but I ain't going on in this video. But in a regular market, when it ain't the driver's market or small or owner operators market, whatever, why would any system at hand pay anybody that could just qualified to drive a truck, a commercial vehicle, to pick up a load and go? Now, I hear somebody saying this too. Well, they go off safety rating. You got a good safety score, you got a chance at the cream of the crop. Remember I told you about the good old boy system and all that stuff? That stuff is in play too, even with the good safety stuff. You know what I'm talking about? But anyway, I digress. What I'm just saying is, if you really think, I was really thinking about it. Now that, guys, this is my opinion. This is not facts right here. This is my thoughts. Why would somebody pay any Joe Blow trucking or Joe Blow driver this much money, way more, which cut into their profit now, and they could pay this other guy, Joe Blow Smith, over here to run the same load? Y'all doing the same thing. I know there's some carriers out there, I know there's some customers out there that don't care about the cheaper freight. They want to get their loads ran. But I'm talking about as a whole. As a whole, most people want to save the bottom line. They want to save on the duckies. So they want to get that load moved as cheap as possible. That's just as a whole. I ain't talking about the twos and fews who really actually care about the service provided. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about a majority of, I would say a vast majority of the people out here want to get the load moved for like less as possible. They want to lowball it, right? Especially these brokers. But anyway, I digress. So why would they pay us so much amount of money to move some stuff they get anybody to move it? Well, I ain't moving my truck for less 4,000 miles. I know my worth and all that stuff. I feel the same way, not as far as like per mile per deal, but I'm just saying I know my worth. But what's the difference? Like, what's the difference between me, you paying me, you paying the next guy over here? Which brings me to my other point of challenging the trucking, guys. Like I say, these just is my thoughts. Trucking could be good if you work it. If you make trucking work for you, you ain't one of the ones like me on here talking right now, like, hey, get your stuff together. Hey, they moving in silence. Some people making it work for them. But I digress. But why would they pay anybody else more to move something when you could just get it moved for cheap? I don't know, guys. Like I say, it's just this business is different, man. It's different, and it ain't these challenges I'm naming on here, they're not gonna change. It's not gonna change because I'm on here saying something, and I'm gonna touch on one more thing on this video, and I'm gonna end this joint. I hear people say this too, when it makes sense. If you really listen to it at a glance, it makes sense. I hear people say, well, everybody need to turn off their trucks. Everybody need to park their trucks. The higher ups know that ain't gonna happen. Because you got some people that's thirsty. They bills, they kids to do, they got child support chasing them down the road. And they gotta move something. And you telling me, because of the greater good, I'm gonna park my truck? You might have 5 or 10 guys. So yeah, we'll park our truck. As soon as y'all park your truck, they get in the truck and they rolling. That ain't gonna make a difference because you got too many individual circumstances that play a part in why guys won't collaborate like that. They just won't. This person may have low overhead bills at the crib. He could park for a couple of days. He might not be able to go for no 30 days, 2 months and like that, but he could park for at least a week. But this guy over here, he already behind 6 months. He can't park. He gotta run until the wheels fall off. Otherwise, he getting locked up for something, or probably getting fined, or probably got to pay some more fees on top of the fees he already owe. So that right there won't work. And also too, when you got so many people that could bring down the market rate, if you got guys in this business that understand the market rate, and you got guys like me, I might be new, I'm calling in for work, I'm running this stuff for dirt cheap. Guess what I'm doing? If me and 90 other guys do the same thing, running for cheap because we don't know how to run the load boards, or we don't know how to run the rates or how to run the lanes, we're going to bring down the market. So the guys who's been out here, who know their worth, who understand the value of each lane, or know how to run per mile, they're going to be affected by the fact that I don't know what I'm doing and I'm bringing down the market. Now, I don't blame nobody who trying to get out here and just trying to figure it out. But just know, when you do that, you are messing it up for a lot of the people. A lot of these brokers, a lot of these customers, a lot of these people don't care about trying to pay you your quote-unquote worth. They trying to get that load moved as cheap as possible so they can increase their bottom line or their profit margins. And if you're able to help them do that and get that load delivered, so be it. But the market is getting messed up.